Hello, everyone. I'm a little late to Courageous Conversations, but I'm so happy to be here on this incredibly blustery, snowy day in Toronto. It is February in Canada, so these things do happen. I'm just looking to have folks share as they come on. I would love that. And I just want to make sure that people are seeing me. So if you're seeing me, because I was having some trouble earlier, seeing me, let me know. And I'm just going to do a little bit of sharing. Sharing is caring. And this is an important topic. Hey Omid, nice to see you. Good morning. I mean, this is such an important topic, the whole notion of what are you letting go of? What are you courageously letting go of? And also, has this been a time in which you have started to let go of people, places, and things, and ways of being? More importantly, ways of being. Namaste. And hi, Christine. I'm just doing a little bit of sharing, which I love people to do off the bat, because sharing is caring. Sharing is really part of the experience. Hi, Vincent. Nice to see you. And also, if you feel moved and think that this is valuable information, please share it with your people, because this is an opportunity to get some really good quality information about topics that people are suffering about. People are, having their moments about, having their inner gremlins be impacted about this. So I'm just doing a little bit of sharing on a few pages, and then hi Linda, good to see you. And just if you can share as well, that would be amazing. And then I'll get to it. Also, don't forget, there's my group, Courageous Conversations, which is a closed group, and it's a support group, and it's a place to sort of let it all hang out, but at the same time, feel safe while you're doing so. So if you feel moved to join me, join us, join the community, I would love that. I would be honored to have you on board. Courageous Conversations is about to start. And we're about to talk about, stuff that really hits us. Hey, Wendy, how's it going? I know you're heading out soon to a beautiful cruise. I know it's going to be lovely. So here we go. Almost there. Just doing a sort of a round of sharing and letting folks know that that we're here. I'm here. I am here to share some good stuff. Hi, Svitlana. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining, and if you want to share, that would be awesome, so that people can join us on the journey. The journey is a worthy journey. It's a journey of your soul, and what are you doing here on the planet? Here we go. Almost there. Okay, so I have done my sharing, and if you could do some sharing too. What are you releasing? What are you releasing? The thing that I find most profoundly difficult, like I have people come in and saying, listen, Victoria, I'd really like to operate in relationships in different ways. I'd really like to not have I'm constantly XYZ, or I'm constantly in this pattern, or I'm always in this pattern, whatever it may be. And it's always interesting, because the question I often pose back to people is, what are you willing to do and feel? Hi, Wendy. What are you willing to do and feel in the pursuit of letting go? Because most people say, I want to let go of this pattern, I want to let go of this person, I want to let go of this way of being, I want to let go of this marriage, this job, this house, this person, this family member, more importantly, this pattern of behavior. But I don't want to feel afraid. I don't want to feel like I've made a mistake. Well, here's the thing. I think we live in a whole... Wendy says the need to please. Okay, so are you willing, Wendy, to feel the discomfort that's going to come when someone is not pleased with you, when someone is disappointed in you, when someone tries to manipulate you into pleasing them because you've changed the dynamic? And, we live very much, I believe, in a mindset very often I see where we want the cake and eat it too. We want the new behavior, but we don't want any pain, or we don't want any transition time. It's cake and eat, I want to have it all is the society we live in right now. And, I do believe we can manifest incredible stuff, but the truth is that we got to be willing to feel some pain. We got to be willing to feel some discomfort. We got to be willing to feel that other people don't agree with us. They don't see it like we do. They don't remember it like we do. They don't any of those things. So I feel like the tremendously worthy goal of letting go of what no longer serves you, but also letting go of a way of being specifically that no longer serves you. I think people pleasing is huge. For me, it's feeling afraid to what I'm letting go of, and I'm currently doing that work, letting go of exposing the realer me, not just the Instagram filtered me, the realer me. And I still struggle with that because of obviously family of origin stuff and how things should look and how things should appear. And holding that public face versus private face. I mean, there is a difference, but I'd like to be able. What I'm working on is to be less filtered and more vulnerable with my truth, so that people can relate. It's like we're in this journey together. We're all in this thing together. So the truth is that that's okay. This is what we're doing. We're all in this together. Hi, Kozim. Nice to see you. And I really want you to know that. Because we're all in this together, I don't want to put myself in some sort of a higher place. We're doing this thing together called life. And I happen to, have, my degrees and this and that. And I'm giving advice and all this stuff. Not even advice, but I'm giving feedback and doing certain things here that not everyone's doing. But the truth is that I'm human just like you are, and we're all in this together. And so my letting go of is the secure control of how I'm presenting, trying to be a little more authentic with that. And Wendy Waddell says, my soul lesson right now is boundaries. Okay, so drawing boundaries. It keeps getting thrown at me. So that has been uncomfortable for sure. At the same time, I'm also having to learn when to say nothing, because there are so many people who will be taking things to such a last stand. Okay. So sometimes I don't want to show that real me because it's unpopular. Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's like sometimes it is unpopular, and you've got to. You don't have to do anything. I feel that it's important to expose the realness as well as one can, and that means that there's a progressiveness and a self-compassion that has to happen as you're letting go and as you're feeling uncomfortable. And I believe titration, drop at a time, step at a time, inch at a time, is extremely important when you are dealing with changing behaviors, changing ways of being. Sometimes when you are, finally saying no to the person who is constantly, guilting you into saying yes, or you have found a dynamic with this person in which the way it works is you provide the solutions, they provide the problems. You're the solution maker, they're the problem person. Or they're under-functioning, you're over-functioning. And people who want to change that dynamic have to be willing to feel the uncomfortability, the fear, the crunchiness, the this is so scary, of it all. When the person who is under-functioning is, totally going to, shit on you, or maybe even fall apart, maybe even, risk, more serious stuff, The other thing is you're going to have to, the people who are the over-functioners and the solution makers, you have to confront your own, anxiety that shows up when you're like, not doing for the person anymore. You're not, and then you have to also go, why were you doing this? Well, maybe your self-esteem was rising as a result of being the person who was the solution maker, the finder of everything, the doer of things, the provider of the solution to the situation. So I really feel like the journey to letting go, or really, what's a part of yourself that you no longer feel at home with, comfortable with, that serves you anymore, that works for you anymore, and you are saying, oh no, I need to stop this. This needs to stop. And so that level of courage is what I'm talking about, because it requires you having a massive, courageous conversation with yourself. But, then the harder even is the conversation with the other person, or the other people. I had a client the other day talk about, confronting a toxic boss. Oh, it's so difficult because, of course, what are the risks? Losing your job, downgrading your favor in the dynamic that is at this particular workplace. It's super hard for so many people to confront authority, to say, what you actually mean. But for this person, it was, the buck stops here. I no longer want to feel like I'm a nothing in these dynamics. And it's time to, to really say, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to say no to this boss. I'm going to, and we had to assess together, whether or not the treatment was in fact toxic, or if this person was bringing in family of origin, childhood, family culture traumas into the present moment and then skewing what they were seeing. So that's an important assessment as well. That's a very, very important assessment. So, hi Lou, thank you for joining us. So I feel like there's this opportunity at every turn, at every moment, when you are assessing, I got to stop this, I got to cut this out, I got to change this pattern. Do a real sober assessment with a good neutral person, like a therapist and a good wise friend. Not just be alone with that and go, is what I'm looking to change, let go of, is this something that is, healthy to do? Or is this a vestige of the past that I'm overreacting to? Really, really dispassionately look at what it is you're looking to let go of. But I have to say, a real tip here is that if it's something that you're just feeling like, hi Jay, nice to see you, that, doesn't work for you, you feel uncomfortable every time you do it, you feel, like this is no longer matching who you are anymore, then of course, by all means, do it, change it, risk it. Try to be doing it in a different way, interacting in a different way with people, because you're going to learn through the process. I know that for me, when I start to write more authentically, be more vulnerable, expose my true self, I have these lines that I'm experimenting with, and you learn, oh, that was a little too far. Oh, maybe I didn't give enough there. And then you really start to learn more the truth of what it is you're looking to change, what it is that you're looking to let go of. And in the case of, people that you want to let go of, be cautious. You're not looking to just amputate, everybody. Because if you're, amputating everybody, I promise you that you're going to end up, alone on an island, feeling fabulous, but alone. And to me, I think that we, in relationships, tend to grow more because we've got to sort of cope with other people. And so I feel amputation needs to be very much only used for the very toxic. Let's be clear. Only for the very toxic. And so the letting go that I'm talking more about is ways of being. People pleasing, not drawing enough boundaries, being more vulnerable, allowing people to take advantage of you. What's other ways of being? Compulsiveness, overreacting, impulsiveness, yelling at your children, berating yourself. All of these are patterns that I'm really talking about. It's like, it's time to let go of this. It's time to step into your true self. And I believe that our true self, before the conditioning, before the family stuff, before the bullying, who we are, I think, as true people, I think that we're just these, we are people who want to relate, who want to create connection. We are human beings, even if we're introverted, that before all the conditioning, there was much more of a peaceful experience. And I want to get back to that. And it takes real work to troubleshoot the different patterns you're looking to let go of and give up. And you need to know that you will feel uncomfortable. You will feel pain. You will feel fear. But it's worth it. It really is worth it. It's just, there's so much. I believe that our being gets so well served upon the letting go. Upon the letting go. And because when we create space, nature abhors a void, new good things can come in. So what are you willing to let go of? What are you willing to change if it no longer serves you? And that is the bigger question you need to pose for yourself. And here's a tip. Do it slowly. Titrate it 1 inch at a time, 1 step at a time. And with each little step, you gain a measure of control over yourself. You stabilize the fear. You take a little step forward in drawing the boundaries, saying no, being more vulnerable, being more authentic. And then you check in with your supporters, you check in with your cheerleaders, you write in your journal, and then take the next step. And before you know it, you have created a new normal. You've created a new normal. When it comes to food stuff, people have a lot of addictions around Coca-Cola, around sugar, baby steps. Let yourself, it's an addiction. So any behavior that we do compulsively, whether it's food, whether it's saying yes all the time, letting people step all over you, not drawing back. These are like compulsive, addictive ways of being, because we're comfort junkies. We just want to be safe and secure and safe and secure and safe and secure. And so I feel like we are in this journey of letting go of safe and secure. Letting go of safe and secure, because safe and secure doesn't really get us anywhere. And Wendy, thank you for lots of Wendy's today. Thank you. Wendy's saying, you're so right as usual. Well, thank you for stroking my ego on that one. I'm not so right as usual. Sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm not, but thank you. I'm still working on trying to figure out the balance of being around peeps who trigger me and not being right. And not being something, I don't know the word, perceived as being mean to peeps who I feel make their life more difficult. I know. I mean, the truth is that part of that journey, I think, for you, Wendy, is to understand that none of it's your problem. None of it's your problem. All that I feel people need to work on in that regard is your own impulsiveness, your own need to respond, it's like, you don't need to see them that often. Try to not see them that often, because I think that that's too tough for people. But just work on your own need to respond. To me, the pattern in that would be that you maybe want to let go of is your need to respond, your need to react. And I got to work on that one too. So it's hard work with you all the way, Wendy, on that, but it's worthy. It's really worthy, because if you can allow yourself the permission to go, this is not my monkey, not my circus, not my monkey, not my circus, not mine. Doesn't matter if they're family, it's not mine. And work on your own issues of how you will feel if you don't respond. This is, I think, the pattern to work on letting go. So Wendy is saying, yes, 100%, and at the same, to not disconnect. Yeah, because I don't think this is a case of amputation in any way, shape, or form, So I haven't heard any evidence of that in your commentary. They're not stealing from you. They're not using, drugs, whatever. They're not, it's like, what I'm saying is that it's not so toxic that you've got to go and cut it out. You've got to work on your own reactivity, I think. So I hope this is helpful. Letting go is courageous and will cause discomfort. What discomfort are you willing to feel? And what are you looking to let go of? What ways of being? More importantly, what ways of being are you looking to shift out of? And that can be physical ways of being, that can be mental, emotional ways of being, and that can be social and relational ways of being, okay? And also, at the same time, all of that requires a level of resiliency and grit that it's going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to be work, okay? It's really going to be work. But you're up to it. You're up to the task. You're up to having courageous conversations with yourself and others. Please share this once it's in the recorded format. And also, join my group, Courageous Conversations. A lot of you are there already, but you might share it with people that are not part of Courageous Conversations. It's a closed group of support. And also the pages, Courageous Conversations, give it a like and pass it around. And also my main page, Victoria Lorien Fabish, Courageous Conversations. Victoria Lorien Fabish, Courageous Conversations. So these are things that I would love people to engage with. And Wendy Waddell says, hey, same. The need to respond and react. That's the pattern we're looking at. That's it. When I stop and I choose to say nothing to people, yes, not respond or react, that's similar to not yelling at kids in a way, absolutely. Not responding to even, not reaching for the carbs to call me. 100%, this is what we're talking about. This is really what we're talking about. It's anything that's impulsive, compulsive, repetitive, and you're not in charge when you're doing that. Not in charge. You're just at the mercy of the whim. And that means, that's something, you haven't taken self-care enough. The self-care has to happen. If you're going to be making these changes, and the uncomfortability is going to come from these changes, self-care, self-compassion, physical self-care, doing what's good for you to make you feel more stable and more able to handle these. You want to create a good foundation to handle these new ways of being. Because the old ways of being are the ones you're looking to let go, but they provided you some comfort. So find comfort in other ways. Find comfort in other ways. But don't forget, when you're yelling or reacting, there's always the other side of it, because you're going to do that and feel good. I did that. And then you're going to feel the guilt, and then you might feel the shame, or whatever it is that some after effect. So less reaction, less response. That is the hugest thing. And, one thing I'm looking to let go of or to change also, and I'm working on that, is to respond more gently when I feel someone has stepped on me. Gentle response. You don't need a hammer in all cases. Sometimes just a gentle little push is okay. I hope this is helpful, and I'm just wishing you. It's snowing quite a bit here in Toronto. I think it's snowing in other parts of the province and the country, and definitely not all over the world. I know it's very hot in Brazil. The other day, my friend said felt like 52. It was 40 degrees and felt like 52. Oh my goodness. All right. Blessings and love, and I'll see you for a live next week, Courageous Conversation as well. But I'm always putting out good material, so we will talk to you soon. All right, bye for now.